All right, blazing fast fingerprint readers now, fast facial recognition. The Galaxy S21 has some really nice cameras. I was really indifferent about this phone before getting it. Both of the phones, all of the S21 line, I was not interested at all. And then all of a sudden I decided, you know what, keep an open mind. Don't just talk about these devices like you always do with every phone that comes out. Go ahead and buy them. And I started with this smaller variant, which is the S21. Shout out to my man Pristine Tech. He just recently got his. I watched his unboxing. Check it out if you haven't already done so. And this device right here, once I started to use the cameras, it intrigued me so much. I said, you know what, I've got to get the Ultra, and that is what I did. So I went back and bought the unlocked Ultra as well, and it's exciting. So this device though retails for $799. I didn't do any kind of trade-ins with this phone. I was really just unsure is what it was. So again, after I used this, highly impressed. I mean, really impressed. And one thing is the size. Sometimes having the big device, like, look at this here. Sometimes having the biggest phone isn't always a good thing. Look at how much smaller this one is, and it's super compact. I mean, I've got cases coming and everything. I've already purchased cases, but having this phone right here is super compact, and it can really make you not want to use a very large device. It has a great screen. Yeah, it's not a 1440p display. It's a 1080p display, and this is plastic, I believe, and this is glass, but I really can't tell the difference, to be honest. They both have that matte feel, and so they feel really good. So hardware on here is absolutely stunning. It's just like, and I'm not talking about so much about looks, I'm talking about the way it feels. I've heard people say that this feels like plastic. I don't know how they got that. I don't know. I mean, everybody, you know, I don't know, maybe my hands are too rough and old. I don't know. I can't tell the difference really. This one has a little bit more weight to it, obviously, so that might translate to premium hardware. But nonetheless, this feels great. And I guarantee you this hardware with a case will not feel real bulky at all. Yeah, it's just super impressive. And I'm really impressed with those fingerprint readers on these devices. Now, both of them have fast fingerprint readers. So hardware wise, Samsung has given it to you again, and I think you'll be hard pressed to not be impressed with this device. So we'll move the Ultra out of the way over there, and we'll focus on this device here. So you got that punch hole camera at the top there, and this is your typical Samsung icon pack layout. I'm not using a skin or anything right now, so yeah, I'm not really going to do that either, because I'm so used to just a really basic icon pack. I used to buy a whole bunch of skins and things like that, but in fact you can go into the theme store, and there's plenty of ways to get in there. Oops. You can go down to themes right here, and you see that box at the beginning that said marketing. Don't check that box. Be sure not to check that box at the beginning, because it's going to flood you with ads and things like that, because that's been a thing. Samsung is already doing that on my Z Fold 2. I'm getting ads on here for some reason. I don't know why, and I can't get rid of them. Ads pop up randomly when I do certain things, so let's hope that I don't have any ads on this one or my Ultra. And it's sad because they're unlocked devices, and you know they have ads on them randomly. So, but nonetheless, you can go in and you can change the theme of the devices, and you can. And the one reason why I don't do a lot of Samsung themes is because most of them are paid. They actually want you to pay for these themes, and there are some good ones in here. Let's be clear, there are some really nice ones in here, but I don't know about paying for them, son. No, I don't know about that. Nah, this is a really good one. I think I've done this one before. But the point is, you can go in here and you can grab whatever you want. There are so many themes in here, and you can change your always on display. You can change your icons if you want to. Again, you see what I'm doing? You go over here to the top and you just press free, and then you just go in here. You can change your font. They have a lot more free ones in here, but not as many of the paid. The paid ones are really deep, and it seems like the paid ones are the ones that I probably would really be interested in. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of times with the Samsung themes, the themes in the font and everything, it does not change everything on the phone. Only some of them will. So again, you got your wallpapers and everything. Point is, you can customize this device right out of the box, just like others, the OnePlus. But the difference is the OnePlus is better at customizations because you can just do much. You can change the icon packs without doing anything else, and that's really what I like to do sometimes. But the themes in here are good, but most of them cost, and I'm not going to pay $10 for a theme or $5 for a theme. Just not going to happen. So the software, either you love it or you hate it, or you're in between about it. But I personally just like this plain old Samsung icons here. They don't bother me at all. Performance on here, day-to-day tasks is how I can measure this performance here. See what they're talking about. What they talking about here? Switch to from down day driver sense. That's what's up. But performance in here is just impressive. It's just blazing fast. And Preston, he just posted his a little while ago. Performance in here is really great. In day-to-day tasks, you should not be able to see any lag or anything like that. I remember that was a thing for Samsung phones, lag. That's all people talked about was lag. Well, over the last 4 to 5 days of me having this device, no lag. It's a Snapdragon 888 with 8 gigs of RAM, and so there's no reason that this phone should have any kind of lag or anything like that. Now, one of the main things about this phone is the cameras for me. I'll touch on the battery in a second, but the cameras on here were so impressive, and I just really like these cameras, and I just thought that they were so good, and it drove me over to the Ultra. But end result is I kind of smirked at this design right here. This is always how it is. Remember when the Nexus 6P came out, we laughed at it and we said, oh, it looks silly, and that's what I said about this one. But then after I got it, I was like, that actually looks kind of sleek, so it's a nice a change up from, I guess, from this style right here with the block, like this, because these are pretty much, they look the same. It's just a different design on the back, but just having something a little different, and I said in the other video, and I'll say it in this one, if you have a S20 lineup, get rid of it and get the S21 lineup, because these cameras, if cameras are your thing, if you're really a camera person and you like a bunch of video and photos, you might want to go ahead and just trade in your S20, because it's totally worth it. Depending on how much you pay for your S20, trade it in, and you're going to give you a lot of money for it and put it all towards one of these phones. You'll be totally happy when you do it, especially if you're a camera person. These cameras really shine. I think they are some of the best cameras from Samsung. I guess the improvements come and they just keep coming, and they're just getting better and better. So I'm happy that Samsung is doing some kind of improvements on their devices, being able to where I can actually see it, because I think the S20 was the worst set of cameras in a long time from Samsung, and I'm glad they improved on it with these cameras right here. So a battery life, battery life is fine, man. I think this phone is still learning me, but the battery on here, I can make it through a full day, but it's not like this mind-blowing 10 hours and all, 15 hours. It's nothing like that. Basic old 7 hours of screen on time for me, because I do have a lot of notifications coming in and things like that. So just the old basic 7 to no more than 8 hours of screen on time on a regular for me, which is actually really good. However, I'm waiting for phones to catch up to LG and catch up to Motorola, because it's the way you get your good battery life is through the optimization. That's how. And it's your software. And so Samsung software is heavy still. If it bogs down your battery, you're just not getting. And this is a 1080p display. And I don't like that the Ultra comes out of the box at 1080p, because I totally forgot to switch it until I charged it to 100 and I was using it, and I was like, man, I need to change this to Quad HD, and I remembered to do so before this cycle ran out. And I'm still at over 70%, I think, on this one. I'm at 67%. But we shall see how this works out. I wanted to give you a quick follow-up video. This is about 4 or 5 days later with the Samsung Galaxy S21. This phone is really nice, and I think it'll be here for a while to come. I just really like the size of this, and now I have both. So if I want to just carry the small one, I can carry the small one. it's just a matter of options and preference. That Ultra might be too big for people, and even this phone might be too big for people. But I think this is a good size considering it's full screen, and I just think it's really good. I think you'll be impressed. Their fingerprint readers now have caught up to OnePlus fingerprint readers. Like remember those in-screen fingerprint readers? That is a fast fingerprint reader. So it's your man Jay. 5 days later, the S21 5G is absolutely great, man. I don't have any dislikes right now that I can think of that'll make me say, oh, don't buy it. So price, if you still think the price is too much, then yeah, don't buy it. But I think for the internals and the cameras that you're getting and the display and everything, it definitely beats out on other phones that are $799. Some people said the FE is the better one, but I personally think these cameras were better than my FE, or they appear to perform better than the FE. The quality is better, and then the overall design I think is better, and I just like it. Totally comes down to your personal preference. If you want to save a couple $100, then yeah, go with the FE. But if you want the latest internals and the latest from Samsung, this is the way to go. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.